Well, howdy, sir. That's quite the intro for this gentleman. Let's congratulate this guy. His album, Redneck Shit, debuted #9 on the country charts. Very impressive.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Are these actual fans? Are these pretending to be fans? Or these actual fans? These people you just pay for the day to be here? Or are these people who know? Maybe we should. Maybe I don't want to know the answer to that. So.
We could check the tattoos if you want.
I see no Wheeler tattoos, so I think I got my answer.
Well, congratulations on the brand new album. It's phenomenal. That song that the audience was just greeted with here, I think, is the feel-good breakup song of the summer.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are asking me. They're like, I think it's called the first single from the record. But if you can't get your songs played on the radio, I don't know what's a single and what's not a single. So I guess it's just a song. We actually bleeped a version. I refuse to censor my songs. I'm very particular about what I do. And some radio station bleeped it, and they got in trouble because the bleeps weren't long enough, apparently. You could hear still some of the F and fuck. So to all you guys in the FCC, make those bleeps a little longer. So anyway, some station tried to play it, but my goal in the record was to make, I said I wanted to make the greatest country record of the year and make it completely unplayable. And bullseye, I guess.
Yeah, you nailed it. And coinciding with that release, and by the way, this album came out in the heat of the Grammys, right? This is peak time for music, and you got to #9. That's so impressive.
Yeah, man, we beat out some. When they called and told me I was #9 on the Billboard charts, I mean, I just started laughing. I thought it was a joke. I mean, we beat out bands who played on the Grammys that week, and in front of millions of people. On my record, you can't buy it at Walmart or Best Buy. All these fucking mom and pop shops, and it's iTunes, Amazon, and my website. That's about it. My album. I think my album's the first album to ever that Walmart ever banned before it was even recorded. Like we tried, Walmart won't even answer the phone. It wasn't even a possibility. But a lot of country fans still buy CD. I'm doing this whole thing with my arms tied behind my back, and people are still buying it. That's how fucking great I am.
Well, this is also how great you are. You transcend country music that other charts had to get involved here, right? You wound up #1 on the comedy charts.
Yeah, I thought that was bullshit. Listen, I'm not dumb. I mean, I'm not smart, but I'm not dumb. Is there a certain camera I'm supposed to be looking at? How about we'll just look at you?
Yeah, we'll look at each other.
And not the people that AOL paid to be here. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. I got mad that we were on the country, and I'm not dumb. Like I understand that when you sing a song called "Fuck You, Bitch," you're gonna get a laugh, and we have the best top-notch musicians, buddies of mine back in Nashville, who played on it, and they were laughing. But to me, it's serious stuff that I'm singing about. It's like when a girl dumps you, right when she dumps you, you're like, fuck you, bitch. And then, you get your head together, you're like, I'm the dumbass, it was my fault. She's not a bitch. But I was like, what if they actually made a country record where instead of cleaning it up, I don't know how much you guys listen to modern pop country, but it's dog shit. Every song on the radio is just complete shit. It just sounds like Milli Vanilli with a twang is what it is. It sounds like bad pop. I mean, I like good pop music. I like Taylor Swift's last record, and even she admits it ain't country. But the stuff that's on country radio right now is really just, like I said, it's like it's what was that group? I mean, Right Said Fred would rip these guys apart. I think they'd be the best country band out there. I went to the CMT Awards. I was in Nashville last week, and I thought my one chance of trying to be Mr. Mainstream, I was like, I got an invite to. They have to invite you to these award shows when you're on the Billboard charts. So I went to the CMT Awards. The awards start. Pitbull comes out and starts rapping. I fucking went home. I'm not sitting through that shit. Nothing against Pitbull. What's he doing at the Country Music Awards? It's just stupid. And so I decided. So all of a sudden, I'm like, if you play real country music, they ain't gonna play you on country radio anyway because they don't play real country music on country radio. They play this Milli Vanilli shit. Or maybe, who died? Vanilli? Maybe it's just Milli now. But anyway, and I'm like, if they're not going to play me because I'm real country, then I'm just gonna not censor it. I'm gonna put it out there, and that's what this R-rated or X-rated album came from.
Well, how do you think country music got to this state? Like, what happened? Where was the transition? Why aren't there more people like you performing and telling it like it is and being a true country musician? Where did we go wrong here?
Well, I think a lot of it is just, well, the money's gone out of the music business in general. So to do things the correct way, I mean, I paid for this record myself. Believe it or not, from that video, they weren't lining up with checks for me, to make this record. By the way, the video you saw is the cleanest song on the album, by a long shot.
Yeah, it's true, very true.
And they got to get these moms picking up their carpool, and they got to get their heads bobbing to keep them awake to take them to soccer practice and all this other fucking shit. So they just started like, we'll just give them these stupid beats. Like I have friends in Nashville, they go to the studio and they hit, it's 120. I don't know if people know what BPMs are, beat per minute. And so the record company guys now go in the studio and they make sure it's 120 beats per minute. Make sure that you're on that thing, because they've done the studies that shows that's the exact amount of beats per minute that makes like the soccer mom, go like this.
That's the formula. They figured out the formula.
They figured out it's a formula, exactly. It's just one formula. And someone does something outside of the mainstream, and like my people I love, this Sturgill Simpson. I don't know if there's any Sturgill Simpsons fans out here. He's a guy doing it his way, making real country music. And I'm from Kentucky. I knew him back. He's the guy who introduced me to the producer, Sturgill, and he's like, this producer Dave, he don't give a fuck. He'll do whatever you want. And I was like, his albums sound great. Let me do it with him. So.
Well, let's talk about your backing band here and the magic of this record, because the musicianship is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And we could talk about David Cobb, who produced this thing. Just incredible. What was it like being in the room? And please name drop for all the people that don't get enough love and the unsung heroes of the country music scene.
Well, the most, it's interesting you asked the question about that, because I went into the studio right before he was about to produce an album by this guy, Chris Stapleton. And Stapleton goes in and made his album no differently than mine. I mean, Chris Stapleton's a little smarter than me and didn't write songs about his asshole. So, which is another track on the record. And Stapleton's the hottest thing out there right now, So, Cobb just really knows how to get that feeling in there, and he knows to let the artist kind of be what they want. And he's the best producer I'd ever seen. He plays guitar with me. He just like some guy, engineer. You do the mixing. The feel of it's right. If the feel's good, I mean, he's laughing he's like, you're an idiot for. He didn't say the word. He's just like, why are you singing so dirty? Because you're ruining your career. But my career was already in the shitter anyway. So, but I knew if I had known that a song called "Fuck You, Bitch" could get you onto AOL Build, I would have, I wouldn't have been so worried at the time. But he's just really good at getting that feel out of it, and it's cool for me to watch him, because he just won, the Grammy for Producer of the Year for that Stapleton record. So, I mean, it's laughable to me that that's produced by a Grammy-winning producer, but it's well deserved, and it's great to see him get the awards and see someone like Stapleton, who's a real musician and a real country singer and songwriter. Seeing him getting those accolades. So, I mean, saw Chris a couple times, and I mean, he sells 10,000 tickets, and he could have probably played three times. He's going to open up for Guns N' Roses at Titan Stadium, so it's pretty cool.
It's pretty nuts. Well, speaking of this photo on the cover of your album here, Redneck Shit, I've got to ask you, because the photo gets cut off here, are those shorts?
Those are not shorts. Jeans? No, yeah, well, it was actually shorts because my junk is so long, it actually goes on for another foot there, and you can't see it there. No, I'm kidding. No, we did two versions of that show, because I wanted to do a pose, because I love Thriller, that Michael Jackson record, and all these, I noticed like half the country albums, it's just that dumb fucking pose right there. Yeah. I'm gonna do one myself, and I'm gonna stuff it with a sock. And it's going to be like this album, this guy doing that same pose, but he's going to have actually, I can tell you, the original album, I was just going to call the album Pussy, and I was going to have do the Thriller pose, but with as a cat there. And when you get into the music business, they give you these lawyers, and these lawyers tell you that you can't you don't fuck with the Michael Jackson estate. So, so the album went
Good
from...
advice.
Yeah, well, you know, I appreciated that that knowledge, because I would have lost that case. But anyway, so then I just did the pose, and then I did the shots with the sock in there, and it looked so fucking stupid. I mean, I wanted to just make it look like I had a real... I'm allowed to say kind of anything. I wanted to make it look like I had a big dick, and that ended up just being... I don't know what that... I think that's like that's my car keys in there or something. But anyway, the shots with the stuffed pants just end up looking so stupid. So we ended up just looking with a really nice... I think I look nice in it, but...
Yeah, you look great.
Yeah, well...
It's a great cover.
Photoshop helps.
I want to ask you about metaphors, because you're not one to use them. You're pretty... You say what you want to say, and you get it off your chest. Do you think using metaphors in lyrics, especially in country music, is sort of a cop-out?
Well, here's the way I look at it. It's like, it's 2016. Like, why do I have to... There's a lot of country, like mainstream country artists who are just like this dog shit I'm talking about, who they just, you know, they use metaphors for a vagina or a penis or... It's like, I can go on the computer and I can see full insertion. I mean, it's like you can do anything nowadays. It's 2016. Why are we using metaphors? Why not just say it? And like I said, because I play real country music, I ain't gonna get played on the radio anyway. So what do I need a metaphor for? You know, it's like I got a song called "Better Off Beaten Off." As you said backstage, he said that's his favorite song.
Favorite song on the album. It's a great tune.
I don't need a metaphor for beating off. I just say beating off. You know, it's like it's stupid. It's a waste of my fucking time. So I paid, like I said, I paid for the record myself, and I financed it myself. I wrote it myself. You know, like I had Dave and the musicians help. But like, if there's no one telling me what to do, you know, like, and I was talking to an interviewer the other day. It's like, well, Hank Williams. You know, if you look on iTunes, you look at my album. It's all 5 stars and all 1 stars. It's either the greatest country album ever made, or this is blasphemous to country music, and you should buy 10 copies and burn them, which I encourage that, by the way. You got to burn them to buy them. You got to, what's the saying? You got to buy them to burn them. Now you got to download them to delete them, I guess, is the new one. But anyway, so I'm just, like, Hank Williams didn't talk like, he didn't talk. I was like, but Hank Williams, there was 2 TV stations. My competition's like the radio and the country charts and MTV and CMT. I got fucking Chewbacca Mom on Facebook and shit like that. Like, Hank Williams didn't have to compete with fucking Chewbacca Mom. I got too much competition. I'm trying to get people's fucking attention, and I'm trying to get people involved in real country music again. And there's too much out there, man. I mean, like, the other night we played Houston. By the way, if anyone here from Houston? Yeah, well, this guy, and he moved for a reason. It sucks. But the whole audience there, they're just taking selfies the whole time. You know, it was like we sold out the fucking joint, and I'm paying to people's back, and they're all trying to get me in the shot and taking like I don't remember seeing pictures of fucking the Louvin brothers playing the Opry, and everyone taking selfies with those giant cameras with the shade around the thing. You know, it's like the people's attention span, the stuff they pay attention to. It's not why I did it. I only did it just because I don't give a shit. But I'm sick of having to. By the way, I'm trying to get "fuck Chewbacca Mom" trending on Twitter, and it ain't working. I've been trying now for 2 weeks, and somebody wrote back to me on my Twitter account, because I'm new to social media stuff, and all I do is I just fucking rip into everybody. And this guy, and some woman's like, there's bigger problems. Because everything I say, they just take it verbatim. And I said, I go, "Fuck Chewbacca Mom." Hashtag "fuck Chewbacca Mom." And she goes back, there's bigger problems in the world than Chewbacca Mom. And I wrote back to her, "There's one problem in America, Chewbacca Mom." And she's just like, and she went off for about 50 tweets. Like about how, like, she thought I was dumb. Like, she thought the world's like, there's 2 things I love in the world. Country music and bothering people. And I found a fucking way to do both.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
All right, what do you think the biggest misconceptions are about country music and that surrounds country music?
Well, I mean, I'm from Kentucky, and it's kind of, thematically kind of what this record's about. I mean, it's all the other stuff that I've gotten a lot of press for, is making fun of certain. I'm trying not to name names anymore because now that I'm selling records, these people are finding me and telling me to shut the. I've had a couple run-ins. Let's just say that.
They have estates too. That you're
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, they can read Twitter. Well, most of them block me. But it's a very personal record. But I'm also talking. I'm trying to. Being from Kentucky, you go to New York or California, wherever you're going, and I'm a redneck there, and then I'm from Lexington. I don't know if you guys know where Lexington is, and then a buddy of mine, comes in from Elizabethtown. And to him, I'm a city slicker, because I'm in the big city. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm a city boy. I'm just like, it's all the same. I've seen like this. There's clothes. I remember when I went to the first day I was in New York City a couple of years ago. I was touring with another band. I was with a friend of mine from my hometown. This kid, we got off. We got out of the car. We go, oh, finally a city. There's no rednecks here. I see this guy. He starts throwing rocks at a taxi cab. My buddy just looks at me and goes, see, they got rednecks everywhere. I was like, it ain't rednecks, it ain't South, it ain't North, just cool people and assholes, It's really that simple. So I don't, to me, people think the South is full of closed-minded dipshits, and it ain't. My family's, I was going to say my family's cool, maybe a bad example, but, for the most part, there's just a lot of cool people, and I love going, you're going to find as many dopes here as you are in Kentucky. Please don't do a study on that, because I might be proven wrong, but in my experience, it's not as my concerts are not people waving the Confederate flag and screaming. It's people having fun and who really enjoy country music. It has nothing to do with where you're from, but anyway.
All right, Wheeler, when you get out of your ethos, which is the comedy space, and you're performing, you're on tour right now. We'll talk about some upcoming dates. What else do you take in? Are you a sports guy at all? Did you see the NBA Finals? You want to weigh in on that?
Well, I was playing Austin the other night. Austin, a really cool city. It ain't Houston, which is a shithole. But Austin is a really cool place, and I'm a big if you're from Lexington, Kentucky, there's one thing to do, and that's watch college basketball. And so I'm a huge basketball fan. And the game was when you get to my level of fame. I mean, there must be 18 people here watching me. So obviously I've made it pretty big.
At least, yeah.
So I can tell the club owner, I go, I ain't going on till this game's over. And I'm a big basketball fan. Wait till the end. And this guy right here is from Cleveland, tells me backstage. So I love when he one person clap for you. But
you're safe.
He said it made his whole lot, But it was cool to see. Cleveland's bigger than Lexington, where I grew up, but it's still cool when I see a town. What was it, 50-some years or something like that?
Yeah, 52. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, man. I know you had a big part in that. So, but it was cool to see Cleveland win. I like that. Yeah. And I went on late, and the crowd didn't give it. I just actually was backstage. Someone gave me an article. I don't remember. The problem is I drink sometimes before I go on stage. And apparently I said that, because I went on stage right after the game ended, and I said, now we know who the greatest player in the history of basketball is, and now we know who the greatest singer in the history of country music is. And you don't say that shit, they right? I put it in the Austin Chronicle, but I guess I said I was the LeBron of country music is what I said on stage. So anyway, I think Hank Williams, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, they're a little better than me. But when you get a couple beers and you see a crowd of people, you start talking out of your ass. So. Anyway, congrats again on the win.
Oh, well, thank you. The win I had nothing to do with, right?
But please tell the city of Cleveland. It's great for them.
You got it. You got it. All right, it's about time we get to some audience Q&A here at AOL Build and Wheeler Walker Jr. brand new album, Redneck Shit. If you don't have this album, I implore you to buy this thing. It's amazing. And he's out on the road right now. You're playing New York City. Sold-out show, Mercury Lounge.
Mercury Lounge.
Very cool spot to
play.
play.
Known we would have played someplace bigger. But, yeah, we got what's coming up? We got New York, and then we're playing Cambridge. I don't know what. Get some of these dates out here, man. There's 8 million people
Yeah, you
watching.
got it. We got Boston. You're going heading to Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Portland, Oregon. Make your way up to Seattle, San Fran, Santa Cruz, West Hollywood, California. Great spot.
Sold out the Troubadour.
That's right.
That's where the
Legendary Troubadour.
That's where the Eagles got their start. But ain't no more competition from the Eagles.
And Guns N' Roses as well got their start there.
Guns N' Roses got their start at the Troubadour.
Yeah. All right, audience Q&A. Let's do this. Who's got questions for Wheeler Walker? Maybe there's something you've always wanted to know about, like what's it like on a tour bus, a day in the life walking in this man's boots. Anybody wondrous about the world of country?
See a guy with a beard. He's a really nice beard.
Yeah.
Hey, my brother from another mother. Let's talk some redneck shit.
All right, cool.
So I want some advice from you. I went out with a girl the other day, and
Oh, cool. I knew these questions were
I
coming.
pretty much told her I was an urban cowboy. I like to wear some cowboy boots from time to time. She wasn't down with that. So in a couple of simple words, what should I tell her?
So, you came all the way here to ask me, what now? You came out here to ask me that a girl you like doesn't want you to wear cowboy boots, and I'm supposed to, if you like pussy, don't wear the boots.
Fair.
Okay. People listen to my record, think I'm like I'm Mr. like some badass. A girl tells me to button on my shirt, I fucking button this shit. She doesn't work for the labels. It's like I'm trying to get laid here. All right. Does that answer the question?
Sure does.
Yeah. She tells you to wear Bahama shorts and nothing else. Put that on.
Got it.
Any more brain busters?
All right, we got one here in the front row.
How's it going, man?
I'm good. I'm good.
You talked about putting your own money up. Did that ever scare you at all for like making the album or like?
Yeah, it scared the shit out. That's excellent. So there's a good question. It kind of threw me there, asking me a question about the record. Yes. Well, I tried to act. When you're someone like me, you're full of. You don't dress and act like this unless you're full of fear nonstop, and you're trying to cover up for it. So I was acting like a badass and like I don't give it. But I was scared because we recorded the whole record in 5 days, and it was pretty much emptied out my bank. It was everything I had in my bank. So I acted. It was the worst of everything because I was scared shitless. Because if this album didn't work, you know, I'm broke. And then, by the way, the album did work, and I'm still broke. But, you know, it's nerve-wracking, you know. It's like you want to take that's why Dave is so good. He got me to a place to calm down, forget about, just like, it's going to be great, just calm down, don't worry about it. And then it was more when the album ended that I started thinking about, like, I just spent a lot of money on, and there's about 3 words on the whole record that can be said in public. When I started to really worry. But during the time, I was actually fairly calm.
Nice. All right, another question right here in the front again.
Hey, I read that you released your first single on Pornhub, and I was wondering why, and did you get a lot of views there?
Well, now there's a question. So here's the thing. I was talking about that before. You know, when you make music, I don't know if you can read some of the song titles off this record, but it's a heavy. I claim it's a heavy R. Other people claim it's a light X. Some people claim it's a heavy X. Whatever it is, you can't do things. I just didn't want to censor it. I wasn't going to bleep it or do anything. And a lot of these artists, the big thing they do now is on iTunes or NPR. They stream. You can listen to it for free a week before it comes out. And I was talking to the people who helped me. Like I said, it's self-release, so it's let's put it out somewhere a week before and let people listen to it, because you know I know it's gonna melt their minds, but Rolling Stone wasn't gonna put this on their website. So I go, what about Pornhub? I go, why don't we call a porn site and call it a premature release, put the whole album up there for free, and I go, where's it? I go, the people, I go, because I said to one of the guys I was working, most of the people I talk about working with, I say I used to work with because they last about a week in this crazy world. And I said, what if we could get our album to everyone in the world who jacks off? I go, because you're talking about, oh, I'm trying to get my album, AV Club gets 10,000 uniques a month or whatever kind of language it is. I go, how about 500 million every hour? Does that sound a little bit better to you? And I called up Pornhub. I go, how about this? Somebody found a number for this guy. I don't know. He spoke like 3 words of English. And I go, okay, if we stream the album, have a couple ads, then we can prove to people this works. And hundreds of thousands of people, listen, don't get me wrong, a lot of people do not go to Pornhub to hear a country record a week before it comes out. They're there for other reasons. But when you go to the site and you're done, you're cleaning up and listening while you're sitting around, whatever, why not check out the record? I said if 1% of the people go to Pornhub and find out about my record, I'm in good shape. And we probably did get about 1%, and number 9 on the Billboard charts.
A lot more people doing 2 things at the same time than you thought.
I think I tried. The thing is, I just look at the cover and I'm fine. But apparently, other people need Pornhub. But
all right, we got time for one more question.
Hey, Wheeler, you're hilarious.
Thank you.
Why'd you bring the dog into it?
Well, like I said, when the emotions get the best of you, you're not thinking this. Like I said, the girl, fuck you, bitch, the girl I wrote about, she's not a bitch. She's a nice enough girl, and I fucked it up. It's my fault. But that dog was the most annoying piece of shit I'd ever met in my fucking life. And it kept fucking running away. And I'm like, every day with my fucking life, besides me, me and this girl driving each other crazy, half my fucking life, I'm like, I'm trying to write songs. Half our life was fucking chasing this fucking dog. And I'm like, nothing against the dog, but that's what came out. Like I said, but that's what happens when you don't censor yourself. It's like, I don't want the dog to be dead, but like at the time I was like, fuck your dog. I hope this next boyfriend, fucking tell him to lock that thing up or whatever it is, So it just kind of came out. It's nothing personal against the dog, but hopefully that dog found a new owner.
Yeah, rest in peace, dog. All right. I want to say I can't wait for the follow-up album, potentially titled #Fuck Chewbacca Mom. I don't know.
Well, you should have heard what I wanted to call this one.
Right on. Well, congratulations on Wheeler Walker Jr., a redneck shit. Big round of applause for Wheeler Walker Jr. for being here. Head to WheelerWalker.com/tour for all of his tour dates so you can go see him live. And don't take any selfies of yourself while he's on stage.
You can take a selfie, but take it before or after the show. Or I'll come out to the merch table, take one with you. Don't take it in the front row. Yeah, go to my Twitter and all that shit, and I'll make fun of you.